At one point, Bob Olinger looked like the most exciting young horse in national hunt racing. A devastating Cheltenham performance, huge expectations, and a future that seemed limitless. But his career would take a very different path to what we first thought. This is the story of Bob Olinger, the superstar who seemed destined for greatness, and the twists that followed. When Bob Olinger first appeared on the racecourse, it didn't take long for people to realize there was something special about him. Trained by Henry de Bromhead, he quickly built a reputation as a horse with both power and elegance. He travelled strongly through his races, jumped smoothly, and when asked to quicken, he could leave rivals behind in seconds. It wasn't just that he was winning, it was the ease with which he did it. By the time he arrived at the Cheltenham Festival in 2021, the hype around Bob Olinger had grown enormous. He lined up in the Ballymore Novices hurdle against some of the best young horses in training. And what followed was one of the most impressive novice performances seen at the festival in years. Travelling powerfully throughout the race, Bob Olinger cruised into contention before the final hurdle, and when he was asked to go and win the race, he surged clear, 7 lengths clear of Gaillard du Mesnil and 12 clear of Braveman's Game, a horse who would later become a Gold Cup contender. It was the type of performance that instantly changes how a horse is viewed. Bob Olinger wasn't just a good novice, he suddenly looked like the next great star of the sport. After Cheltenham, the expectations only grew. He followed up by winning at Punchestown, confirming that his festival victory had been no fluke. The future seemed clear. Bob Olinger was supposed to dominate the staying novice chase division, perhaps even step up and become a future Gold Cup contender. But racing careers rarely follow the perfect script. In the season that followed, Bob Olinger's journey became far more complicated. Even though he was unbeaten and won at the festival, there were setbacks. He was battered by Galopin des Champs before he fell, leaving him in front. Then he didn't show up at all at Punchestown when being pulled up. Moments where the brilliance people had seen at Cheltenham seemed just out of reach. He still ran big races. He still showed flashes of the ability that once made him the most exciting young horse in training. But the dominance many expected never quite arrived. And slowly, the conversation around him began to change. From the next superstar to the horse who promised everything. But great horses have a way of reminding everyone what they are capable of. And Bob Olinger would eventually deliver another moment at Cheltenham that racing fans won't forget. Switching disciplines back and stepping into the stayers' hurdle, he returned to the festival stage once again. The same hill, the same roar from the crowd. And once again, Bob Olinger showed the class that had always been there. Producing a brilliant performance, he captured another Cheltenham victory and proved that even after setbacks and doubts, the talent that once made him a superstar had never truly disappeared. Because Bob Olinger's career tells us something important about racing. Not every great horse dominates year after year. Some careers are more complicated, more unpredictable, but that doesn't make them any less memorable. From his breathtaking novice performance to his later festival redemption, Bob Olinger delivered moments that racing fans will remember for years. And in a sport where greatness can appear and disappear in an instant, moments like that are what truly define a horse's legacy. But now I want to hear from you. Did Bob Olinger fulfill the promise we saw at Cheltenham, or do you think he could have achieved even more? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy stories like this from the biggest stage in jump racing, make sure to subscribe. Because throughout Cheltenham Week, we're telling the stories behind some of the most fascinating horses to grace the Cheltenham Festival.